Hello, you beautiful, strong, and ambitious women. Thank you so much for indulging me and watching this video. I know it's something that's completely impromptu, off the cuff. I even woke up this morning and it was an idea I had this morning, and I'm so happy that I'm carrying it through. And I'm happy that you're also watching this. So if you're watching this, it means that you have some sort of interest in building your personal brand. You want to be able to build the trust and the credibility in order to build a personal brand that people want to work with, people want to pay to either speak at their events, hear what they have to say, change people's opinions, or even book your services as a coach, as an instructor, or a consultant. Either way, you want to build some sort of personal brand out of your expertise, out of your interest, out of your passion, or the message that you want to share with people. And you need to know how you want to do this. So over the past week, I have been speaking quite a lot about influencing. And although there's so many women who want to build their personal brand, a lot of women are just like, I don't want to be an influencer though. And I think there is a bit of a misunderstanding about what an influencer is. If you want to take your knowledge, your expertise, your passion, and you want to use that to build your personal brand. So as an individual, you want people to trust your opinion on something that you are either passionate about or knowledgeable about, and you want to leverage that. So you want to use that to earn income, either through speaking about the thing that you are passionate or knowledgeable about, or in engaging with other people, consulting, being a speaker, writing a book, sharing your opinion or your strategies. So whatever it is, you want to take your knowledge and your expertise, build your personal brand, and use that personal brand to earn income. Then essentially what you want to do is become an influencer in your field. So what I want to do today is I just want to show you quickly, this is a 5-minute video, different types of people who are influencers and what they do: authors, speakers, people who are consultants, coaches, all of those things that people do once they build their personal brands. And I want to show you that there's not just one type of influencer. There are so many other types. So what should you be thinking of in terms of your personal brand and building your personal brand and leveraging that personal brand in order for you to turn that into a full-time career? So before we get into that, let's just quickly introduce each other. I am Kopano Shimange. I am a professional coach and consultant, specifically focusing on helping people build the brands and the businesses that they want and deserve using the digital age. So I have been in the marketing and communication space for over 10 years now, and I've specifically been working with influencers since 2009, and I have built my experience over the years on the digital space with some traditional media as well. I also have a academic background in finance, which is quite strange, as well as my postgraduate in communication as well. So in my career, I have helped so many women build their personal brands and turn those into businesses. So women who are doctors, women in finance, some women who are in the beauty industry. So I've worked with all different types of influencers, and women who are in spaces that aren't usual, like in agriculture. And they have been able to take this and turn this into their full-time careers, or even take that and earn extra income because they have been able to build their personal brands to a point where people trust them. They have authority, the type of authority that they walk into a room. Nobody cares how many followers that they have. They are able to speak to people and command respect and a paycheck to go along with it. So let's do this quick. I'm going to just share my screen with you guys, and we're just going to do a bit of stalking online, right? And we're going to see what an influencer is, the type of people that we are talking about here, right? So let's go into Instagram, because that's where most people think influencers live. All right, so we go onto Instagram, and when we think, okay, influencer, we want to think of the people right at the top of the game. So the first person you would think of is someone like Kifile Mabote, right? She is a traditional influencer. That is the epitome of an influencer. That is very true. She is very good at what she does in her job, but that is only one type of influencer. She specifically focuses on building her following and leveraging her following to then get her paycheck, right? So another woman that I really love, that her influence, she might not have a lot of following. She has a moderate following, but she's also an influencer, is a woman who's in the finance space, right? And I love her to bits. I think she's an amazing person. She's a private banker turned international wealth coach. Now, this is something that a lot of women they do want to do this. And she has built her following to 19,000, which has taken her some time to do this. I've never met her before, but I love her to bits. And she's an example of a coach. She's an example of a personal brand and an influencer who has taken her personal brand and has leveraged it to speak at events, for example, as we can see over here. And she's letting people know what she's been doing. She gets flown all over the country. She works with different brands that she loves working with, but she has been able to build her personal brand, leverage her knowledge, leverage what she knows, her expertise, and turn that into a service as a personal brand. Now, I know some people are just like, this is amazing, but I don't see myself as a financial coach or a wellness coach. What about somebody who is, let's start to explore a little bit more. Now, if I was to show you this person, would you think she is an influencer? She only has 5,000 followers. Her brand is called Women in Finance. And let's read her bio. Helping women make confident financial decisions. She's an author, award-winning personal finance coach, founder of Women in Finance, and columnist at City Press. Interesting, right? Okay. So here's a woman. She's actually one of my clients. I started working with her in 2017. And when we started working together, she was a financial advisor at a financial advisory house. And even though we've been working together all these years, she has a following of 5,000, which a lot of people say, that's not really an influencer following. But how is she able to command this type of bio? How is she an award-winning personal finance coach? How is she the founder of this? How is she a columnist? It's because she's built her influence. She's built her personal brand to a point where she can work with brands such as Old Mutual, Sanlam, speak at She Invests, which is a JSC company, and be a published author. A person with only 5,000 followers, how is she a published author? And she's not self-published. She's publishing her book coming out in October with Penguin, one of the world's largest publishers. And they approached her, right? How has she been able to do this? How is she able to speak at events with R&B? How is she able to work with Old Mutual? She has built her brand. She has built her influence. She has been able to take her authority, what she knows, and what she's passionate about. She's been able to package that and sell that. And that's what a lot of women want to do. So when she started her career, she was a coach and consultant. So people would pay her an hourly fee to see her, and she would give them personal finance strategies, and then they would pay her for that. She then started to speak at events. She started to get noticed by brands, and these brands would pay her to come and coach people in their companies. So big corporates, she would pitch to them and say, listen, let me come and speak to your employees about finances, about speaking to women. And that's how she makes her income. And even though she's only got 5,000 followers on Instagram, of which most of those followers have been growing this year, she has been able to command paychecks that are bigger than people who are in beauty and in hair. Yet some people don't know her. She is known by the relevant people in her market. And if she was to meet you today, she'd be able to stamp her authority and build credibility with you in a way that you would listen to what she has to say. Let's look at more of what she does. Okay, so let's look at her website, womenfinance.co.za, I think. And let's look at her LinkedIn. And let's look at her YouTube. Now we're proper stalking, which is really fun, right? So let's see. So you would expect that somebody like this she's been doing this for 3 years now, who's commanding that, that type of attention, working with these big brands, would have so many views on YouTube. She's got 278 subscribers on YouTube, and her average views on her YouTube channel are about 200 views. So let's see, 140, 300, 300, 197, 280. Would you believe me if I said that because of these videos, she's been able to get even more work in terms of working with big brands, being able to get booked for things such as the JSC talk that she did. These are important things, right? How is somebody with this following able to build her brand to a point where she's a published author? How is somebody with a following like this able to work as a columnist for City Press? And how is someone who only has this many followers and this many views on Instagram able to build a full-time business, sustain her life, still look beautiful, get a paycheck that she desires, meet her monthly financial goals, and all of those things? It's because influencing is not always about your following. When you are an influencer, okay, when you are an influencer, you either lead with one or two things. It's either you lead with with numbers, which is the amount of people who follow you, or you lead with knowledge. And she was able to lead with knowledge. She built her brand from her knowledge and her expertise. And that's what people have, right? That's what professionals have. Your accountants, people in mining, in agriculture, in engineering. You're able to lead with your knowledge and your personal philosophies on how things can be done, methodology that people want to hear about. You can build your brand off that, and you can get clients who want to speak to you, pay you an hourly rate to get your coaching advice, get corporates to book you to find out how you can help their teams. You can be that person who's also an award-winning influencer or public speaker. You can also be an award-winning coach or consultant, as a fitness coach, as a beauty instructor, whatever it is, because you're leading with knowledge and not with numbers. Okay, let's look at one more person. Just one more example. Now, like I said, my fellow is one of my clients. So let's look at somebody else. Now, if I was to go to, let's go to Mbali, right? I follow her. She actually has a private account. 771 followers. Okay. Award-winning farmer, CEO of Green Terrace, speaker and columnist at Farmers Weekly. Okay. Weren't expecting that, right? Funny thing is, would you consider her an influencer? I think your immediate answer is no. Why? She doesn't have enough followers. But that's not what an influencer is. She's leading with knowledge. She's in the agriculture space. She's another one of my clients, and she is also an award-winning businesswoman. So for example, she's just recently won an award on Pan-African Award for Most Influential Woman in Business and Government, country winner for agriculture. Most influential. Isn't that what you also want to be? Live your life without having to be Insta famous, but have the credibility and authority to be thought of as the most influential. She's known by people in her space. And that's what building your influence is essentially about, right? She's able to go to these places, and because of her credentials, because of her experience, because of the way she's built her personal brand, she's able to command such respect to be able to be a columnist for Farmers Weekly, right? Let's go to her LinkedIn. And you can see on her LinkedIn that she does pretty great on LinkedIn. What does she do on LinkedIn? How has she been able to actually build this type of brand, right? Where she's now an entrepreneur, speaker, and columnist based on things that she loves, right? She writes articles. When we started to work together, I started working with Mbadi in 2019. We started by writing articles. She's got knowledge to share, right? So she didn't want to do videos or podcasts, but she could write about what she did. And that's exactly what she did. She started writing about the agricultural space, not just about women in the agricultural space, but about what she does and how she does it. So being knowledgeable, writing about the technical side of farming, helping people within her space understand farming, or people who want to get into that space understand farming. And this is what has helped her to build this brand, where she's then become a woman who is recognized as the most influential business woman in business and government in the agricultural sector. So wouldn't you like to do the same thing? Wouldn't you still like to say, okay, fine, I don't have to go and create videos and be Insta famous and all of those things, but I want to be able to build my influence and build my personal brand. Why? Because I'm a fitness instructor and I want to put out courses on my website and I want people to pay me for those courses so that I can make an income from that and do that full time and stay at home with my children. That's very possible. There's many women who do that. I'd love to show you all those women, but I wanted to make this short. Because you are in mining and you want to be invited to the mining endeavor, you want to be invited to the chambers of mining so that people can start to understand how women in mining fit in, how they can have value. You want to be invited to all of these conferences, and when Bloomberg or when CNBC or when ENCA is speaking about mining, they should call you so that you can speak to them because you are knowledgeable. You have the authority to speak about those things. So when you think about influencing, you should be thinking about a personal brand that has been leveraged to earn income. A personal brand that has been leveraged to change people's opinions. Someone who's knowledgeable about the field that they are in. And whether you're leading with numbers or with knowledge, you are able to walk into a room, stamp your authority and your credibility enough so that you have the ability to impact people's thoughts, change their minds, make them want to buy something or not buy something, make them want to agree with something or not agree with something. That's what influencing is. Influencing is about having the authority to influence. Okay, we got cut off there for 2 seconds, but I just want to wrap this up. If you are a person who is in any field, it could be knitting, it could be sewing, it could be public development, it could be child development, it could be child psychology, it could be farming, it could be fishing, it could be anything that has a niche of any sort. And you want to be able to build your personal brand so that people trust you enough that they will listen to what you have to say. So that people trust you enough to want to read about what you have to say. Maybe buy a book by you, a short ebook. They want to have you speak at their events. You want to be able to walk into a room, stamp your authority, and have people listen to what you have to say. To coach people in corporate or outside of corporate, to be able to consult with people one-on-one or in groups, to be able to summon hundreds of people to an event that you are hosting where you will be sharing your message. Then what you essentially want to do is build your personal brand and leverage it to be able to earn income. And essentially that is influencing. I urge you to open your mind to that and to stop dreaming and to actually start doing something about it. With my business ClubSheIs, all we ever do is push women to act, to take action on the dreams that they have, to stop wishing and dreaming for the things that they want. We give them the specific steps and the tools so that they are able to take one step after the next to build the businesses and brands that they deserve. So if you want to build your personal brand and leverage it and turn that into a business that you can quit your day job and do that as your full 9 to 5, which many of my clients have been able to do. Some of my clients have been able to earn a 7-figure income or revenue by the end of the year of their personal brands and their influence. If that's something that you want to do, then I urge you to take action. This Saturday, I'll be having a workshop where I will be going through my clients that I've worked with. One in agriculture, Mbali, that you just saw, as well as Mapalo, who's in finance, or another one of my influencer friends who I've worked with as well, and she's on YouTube. She leads with numbers. She has a following. We helped her with that as well as a doctor who's been able to build a brand for herself, and she's been flown to different parts of the country so people can hear what she has to say because of the brand that she's built for herself as a doctor, as a gynecologist to be specific. We're going to look at how these women were able to go from being ordinary women to building their personal brands that people trust enough to pay them for their opinions, to be able to get one-on-one clients, corporate clients, and be able to be published authors and to win awards as influential people in their industries. And In this, we're going to look at specific strategies that I worked with these ladies, the key strategies that they did. So once you finish with this workshop, you will know what strategy works best for you and where you should start. And on top of that, I will also give you access to a full online course that will give you a step-by-step guide, how to shape your personal brand, how to identify the value that you have to bring to the table, how to package the products and the services that you have, and how to create that content that establishes your authority and your credibility so that people can start to know who you are and what your message is. So you won't be left guessing. You'll know exactly what you have to do once you leave this workshop with this online course. So there's a link down below. Click on it, click on the button, go to the page, read about everything you're going to get, and make an investment in yourself to start building that brand that you want. If you've seen any of the women that I've worked with and you think to yourself, you know what, that's something I want. I'm in fitness and I'd like to do this full time. I'd like people to be buying my courses and hiring me to do talks. I'm in mining and I would like people to invite me to speak at events. I would like people to trust me enough so that I can publish a book and they'll buy it. I want to be able to consult for other mining companies on how to treat women in mining. If that is something that you are interested in, if you have a message that you want to get out there and you want to host seminars and you want to be able to have the influence to get people to buy 100 tickets or 300 tickets or 500 tickets and sell out when you do that, then you need to build your influence and you need to get this course. So click on the link, read all about it, and make sure that you get your ticket for this Saturday because it will be gone after this Saturday and the price will increase. And I want to see you take action. Do something different this time around. Invest in yourself, invest in your knowledge, your skills, and get strategies that you can actually implement that will take you forward and change your 2020. How would it actually be if you actually achieve the things that you dream of? See you there.